Wow. You got a lot to fix. Okay, so we're on the road right now. We're about halfway there. And I thought, why not just take some of your guys' comments while I'm on the road? So Mike, fire them away. So Ariel, this is a big reason why I started this YouTube channel, was to give people access to the answer to this specific question that you're asking. Because most business owners are instructed to start out as LLCs, but then as your business continues to grow, you're like, wait a second, I want to pay myself. But then you'll find out later that when you pay yourself as an LLC owner, that your business doesn't get to receive a tax deduction, and the money you take out of the business is all taxed. And then you eventually want to get to a place where sometimes the money you're taking back out of your business is not being taxed, where you have some of those distributions being untaxed. When you transition over to an S corporation, you can take distributions and process payroll, giving your business a tax deduction. LLC owners do not get to have that same benefit. And so it may make sense for you to start out as an LLC initially because your business isn't making a lot of money. Or it may make sense for you to start out as an S corporation initially because you know you're going to be coming into a lot of money as a new business owner initially. That is why there is hesitation in the tax space from other accountants just instructing people to set up S corporations, because S corps are more expensive than LLCs. So hearing that, you would want to know, well, when does it make the best sense to transition from the LLC to the S corp? Go visit my YouTube video where I talk about transitioning from the LLC to the S corp, and you'll learn that in my office, I've already kind of determined that $45,000 to $50,000 net income is the sweet spot to when I start telling business owners to make the transition from an LLC to an S corp, so there is a payroll deduction that they can receive. If you want to learn a little bit more to make it make sense, join that video that I did, and it'll go over the aspects of giving yourself a reasonable compensation. Guys, we're finally here. We made it to San Diego, and today I'm going to be interviewing Vince Bertolini, one of the #1 chiropractors here in San Diego. And we're really here at his facility to see what he does. I want to get my back cracked, kind of go through his entire process of how he takes a patient in, learn a little bit more of what he calls biohacking, and see if there's anything that he wants to share with you guys if you're new business owners thinking about getting into the chiropractic field. Let's go in. There he is. What's up, doctor?
Welcome, fellas.
How we doing?
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you as well. I just never had a chiropractor like stop before I've gotten on the table first and go over x-rays. So is there a reason why you take this approach?
Yeah, so there's regular chiropractors and there's specialists. So we're definitely a specialty clinic. It's a much higher level of training required to become a specialist. And with that, you get much better clinical outcomes on people. So some docs are more focused on just temporary pain relief. Which is nothing against those guys, but it's not what we do here. We have a much higher standard for ourselves. Ultimately, we want to create the healthiest, strongest humans alive. And to do that, we need proper imaging first. We have to have the right treatment plan and approach. I got to teach you the right things to do at home to speed up that healing. And there has to be a finish line, a start and a finish to the stuff with check-ins along the way where you tell me you're getting better, but I can actually see it and prove it to you on x-rays. All right, man, so unless you have any questions, let's get to work.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. All right, so follow me right over here to the treatment area.
Wow. You got a lot to fix.
So mid-thoracics are feeling pretty good. Loose, just relax all this. Just like that. Little one here, loose. Wow. Just relax this. Let me bring that sacrum all the way over here. I got you. Just like that. This is a loose one here. So just mouth closed, teeth together. This is a good one to get in close for on this one. And you're gonna drop this to the left here for me. And just relax that, drop, drop, drop. Just like that. What? So as of now, everything is untwisted for the day. Now we have to finish with decompressing. You lift your head all the way up on here. Good. And head goes all the way back.
Okay.
Where things get weird. All right, so this is my personal favorite adjustment. I get this done once a week on myself. There's no more efficient way of decompressing the spine than what we're doing right now with you. So rule of thumb on this one here, man, is you're just gonna keep your teeth together, keep your mouth closed, that way you don't bite your tongue, of course. Just relax this. I'm gonna go about 30% what I typically do on a patient, since it's your first time. Put your teeth together, mouth closed. Just relax all this stuff, man. You're gonna feel a nice little release as this stuff opens up. And again, on this one, probably a good one to get a little closer for too. On this, just mouth closed, just relax. So that good stretch, that's what we're gonna feel. You're just gonna feel this go all the way down. Just mouth closed here. Stand up right now for me. And I always like to have everyone do a little victory lap after the first adjustment. Just take a little lap, just go to the front door, turn around and come back. And just feel what feels different just after one little adjustment there, man.
What I immediately noticed is as soon as you pulled the neck, the light in the room, like got bright.
Yes.
I feel connected all the way down to my toes, to my neck, and I feel aligned. Like I feel extremely aligned.
Yeah.
I do feel taller. That is kind of crazy. I do feel a bit taller.
We have brand new technology called the stem cell machine. It doesn't use a needle. We use very high powered shock waves. They pop out of here at 3,500 miles per hour.
Whoa. Okay.
Just like that.
Okay.
And on contact, what this is gonna do, as soon as we contact the joint, it crushes inflammation. It drops inflammation out of there. You cannot have pain without having inflammation present. They exist together. We're doing a little scan just to see if we find anything. Get it right over medial meniscus.
Right there.
And MCL. Right there. That's our MCL there. See, it's rare that just one part of the knee gets injured in a knee injury. It's one working mechanical unit. So that's why we got to check all this stuff.
Hold on a second. Back up, Mike. Back up. Feeling fast. I'm feeling fast. The world's fastest tax strategist right here in San Diego. I need more of this. This is awesome. Yeah. How did you get into the business? Like, what was it that like got you into the business?
Yeah, so I'll make the long story real short, man. I was always an athlete growing up, played soccer all the way through college. When I was in middle school, I watched my mom go through 2 failed spinal surgeries, and I watched it destroy her life when she got full-blown addiction to pain medicine. Was damn near crippled by the time she was 40, walked around a walker. I watched this happen when I was in junior high. Fast forward to high school, playing soccer, I started to get the same type of low back pain that I saw my mom start to get years before. Like the pain, the shooting down the legs. I recognized at that moment that I needed to take a drastically different journey with my healing than going to the doctors, taking pain medications, getting injections, getting surgery. I just saw it didn't work with her. I'm like, I gotta do something different. Mm-hmm. I was blessed to find an amazing chiropractor. Did the same thing that you and I did today. He showed me the x-rays. I could see it and understand what the cause of my problem was. And he said, here's the game plan. Here's how we can fix it. Same identical clinic to what we have here.
Yeah.
Get a specialist, not just a regular chiropractor, a specialist. So I trusted him. I mowed lawns all summer to pay for my treatment, by the way.
Wow.
And I saved up for it, started treatment with him, and it changed my life.
Was this in college or was this?
This was, right after I graduated high school, first year of college.
Okay.
Yeah. And my whole life changed, man. I got out of pain, but I noticed other things besides that, like how you feel right now today.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I felt that but I stopped getting headaches. I slept better. I stopped getting sick. I became a better athlete. I was a better soccer player. I quit rolling my ankles. There's all these little things kept getting better and better. And I recognized like, this is pretty amazing stuff. So I started hanging out with that chiropractor. He was a great guy. He just passed away like a year ago. But a guy changed my life. But he would take me out to lunch every Monday. We'd go have lunch and I'd pick his brain on this stuff because I didn't know what I was going to do in school. I don't know. I'm going to go physical therapy route, personal training. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do. So it took me out to lunch every Monday, and then I'd shadow him in his clinic for an hour or two after that, and just watch him with patients. And you do this for a couple weeks, couple months. You get to know patients. And I would see these patients that come in there with their walkers and canes and wheelchairs, and a couple months later, they're walking in on their own 2 feet. I'm like, what the hell, man? This is crazy. And then the craziest thing, he had this big glass case in the center of his lobby at the front called the Freedom Jar. And that's where patients would go there and they'd dump in their pain medications, their prescription pill medications they didn't need anymore. They'd dump it in there. It's called the Freedom Jar. And we thought about doing that in Southern California, but I'd probably have people breaking the windows down to try and steal it. So we can't do that here, but in Alaska, it's really cool. So, I looked at this guy. He was canceling spine surgeries left and right. He was getting people off drugs. He was getting people off the same drugs that I saw my mom get hooked on when I was a kid. And I saw that ruined her life. So canceling surgeries, getting people off drugs, getting their life back. Like these people are coming in there like, these old grannies couldn't bend over and pick up their grandbaby off the floor. These athletes, they had to quit their sports because their injuries are so bad. He's getting these people back to living the life that they want to live. And I'm like, I personally don't know anyone else in healthcare that's doing this kind of stuff. So that's when I was like, man, I'm all in with this. I was 18. That was, I was 16 years ago. I just dedicated my life to it, man. And I wake up every day fired up to go to work. And I almost can't even call it work, man, because this is what excites me, man. It's literally what I dream about at nighttime is helping patients to get this feeling that you got right now. This is what I live for, man.
This is healing people.
It fills my day, fills me up. So, that's my purpose. I show up to work every day wanting to make people's lives better because I know what it did for myself and I see what it's done for thousands of patients that I've taken care of. And, I'm biased. I get the most fun job in the world, man. I really do.
You're killing it here. Man, so. When did you decide to go into business for yourself as opposed to like working for another chiropractor and going into a clinic, and how has that been?
Good question. So I graduated school, real simple. What led me to this path is I was working for another doctor right out of school and kind of got taken advantage of. It happens a lot in some of these professions where they say you eat your young, you know? And I was kind of in a situation where I was grinding hard and would not treated very fairly by the doctor I was working for. That's when I realized, if I want that life that I dreamed of living, I need to take matters into my own hands. We control our destiny. So I had to step up and work my ass off, and that's when I was fortunate enough to move here to San Diego and got this amazing clinic up and running. And I have some amazing business partners as well that allow for, like we talked about, freedom for us to travel and actually enjoy life instead of just being chained to the business. So it's allowed us to have some good work-life balance.
Because we're here on a Friday. I know people are out. There's other chiropractors that are seeing 100 patients. Like I get this VIP experience in here with you, but many chiropractors would love to get to a point where they have a schedule where they can go hit the golf links, and you worked hard to build up your personal brand to be where it's at today. What were some of the obstacles that you faced trying to get this business to where it's like at today?
You know what, man, here's what we did to make it easy, because I'm big on not reinventing the wheel.
Me too.
And so all we did is we looked at our industry and we looked at what the top 1% were doing. And what did I do? I called those dudes up on the phone. I was like, hey bro, can I take you out to dinner? And I tried to take him out to dinner, and a lot of these guys that are real successful, a lot of them are self-made. 80% of millionaires are self-made. Because I found that a lot of these guys that are uber successful are really like decent people for the most part that really like helping younger guys like you and me, guys that are hungry and hustling. They recognize like, oh, that was me 20 years ago, So I've always had really good success with that. And listen, I would take these guys out to dinner. Dude, I would get appetizers, entrees. I try and get them to have dessert. Another bottle of wine. I tried to turn that into a 3-4 hour dinner. And the whole time, man, I got my notepad. I'm sitting there taking notes. I'm like, well, what'd you do for marketing? You know, what'd you do for branding? Tell me about the systems in your clinic. And I would just learn all this stuff, you know? And I've done that since I was in chiropractic school. You know? I mean, I just went balls to the wall with it, because it's like, just like you, man, like we don't want to be mediocre in our professions.
No.
We want to be the best of the best.
Yeah.
And like I wake up in the morning telling myself I'm the best. I mean, you can even see on the wall up there, bro, my mission statement. That this is the greatest transformation health experience in Southern California. That's cocky as hell right there. Me posting that on my wall, bro. But that's what I feel, man, you know?
I love it, because it is.
But I just, you know, I just try to find the top dogs and emulate what they were doing that's working.
Yeah.
And then, you know, being my own authentic self, putting my own kind of twist and style and my own kind of personal take on how I actually deliver the treatment.
Yeah.
You know, which is something I got caught up in early, because early on, a lot of entrepreneurs do this. They try to emulate their mentors. They try to be them.
Yeah.
And they deviate from their authentic self. And we're our best when we're our authentic selves, you know? So, you know, that's what we tried to do in this practice. Emulate what the top guys are doing, but make it so we're being authentic and genuine with who we are as well. You know?
I love working with chiropractors. I don't know if I told you this. I went to college and studied kinesiology and minored in nutrition before I went into tax and all the things that I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And early on in my career, I was speaking to the Orange County Association of Chiropractors, and I could just tell a majority of them were at the point where they're growing their businesses. I mean, doctor, they do not have what you kind of have going on here, where you've automated the system. So for someone who's, you know, a chiropractor who is running the business and he's the person or she's the person that has to see all the patients, what would you recommend that they need to start doing to kind of get to a point where you're at? And what have you done that's a little bit different from a marketing perspective that keeps people coming in the door? Because you're seeing over 100 patients a day, your guys' offices.
And this is something that most chiropractors, they're guilty of being chained to their business. You know, they're the ones that they drive revenue, you know, they're responsible for every aspect of their business. And most chiropractors are traditionally very bad at scaling themselves out, you know. Definitely you gotta have some good mentors that have done it. You can emulate their systems and their techniques for doing that, you know. So I've been very blessed to have that. There's a doc up in Seal Beach named Dr. Brad Glowacki. Any chiropractor that is out there that's watching this that's not satisfied with your income level, your systems, they're feeling chained to the clinic, I would reach out to Dr. Brad Glowacki, because I've taken just about every you know, consulting seminar. I've hired just about every coach in the industry. I mean, I've invested like 6 figures into coaching in like the last couple years of running the business, and you know, I think Dr. Brad has the best system and strategy in place for that stuff. So I would find mentors that have been able to do it themselves, because you got to have someone that shows you the ropes on this stuff. I mean, it's a tough, the industry we're in, it's a tough one to make money in. The average chiropractor makes $65,000 a year. You know, that's tough to live off that in Southern California.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you want to be in that upper 1%, you know, you got to find people that are doing it and emulate those systems. Yeah.
Were there any tax problems that you learned as a new business owner, or any things that really shocked your understanding about taxes as you started going into this whole business world?
A full transparency here, okay? I was so financially illiterate when I graduated chiropractic school.
Yeah.
You know, clinically brilliant, you go through 8 years of school, become the best doctor you could be. They don't teach you anything about business in school, man, let alone taxes. So I was so illiterate when it came to that stuff. I've had to learn it on the fly.
Yeah.
I mean, I made a lot of bad mistakes, you know, at the start, you know, forming the wrong corporations, and you know, I didn't have a tax strategist like Karlton at the start, but having someone like Karlton, you know, in your back pocket, someone like Karlton, being able to guide you and show you the path. Again, he's a mentor, he's a financial mentor. Man, it's such a skill set that it is so vital and powerful for any business owner, man. I mean, if you don't have a tax strategist, you gotta call Karlton. Like, you have to. Like, you're leaving money on the table. Like, we work so hard for our money. Yeah. It's such it's a sin, man, to write these big, huge checks back to the IRS when it's not necessary if you got someone like you in the corner. So, you know, I'm so grateful for people like Karlton that have actually shown me the way. It's the most important investment you can make in your business. Hands down, is having that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all the other things you're doing, the marketing, you know, the systems you're creating in this clinic, nothing else matters if at the end of the day you're giving away all that money to the IRS.
Yeah.
You know, having someone that can show you the legal loopholes and the proper way to structure things, it's a no-brainer, man. It's really nice to be able to keep the money you work so hard for.
Yeah, it's not always about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. And when I talk to some of my chiropractors, physicians, typically they're upset because they're writing huge checks and then going back to make money to try to avoid the situation that they're falling into. It comes down to really establishing the correct entity structure and getting with professionals like yourself. All right, guys, we left out of downtown San Diego Gaslamp District, and now we're in Carlsbad here at Fitness Genome. And we're about to go upstairs, meet back up with Dr. Vince, and go into his playground to figure out what I have in store for the rest of my body. I'm already feeling pretty good. My knees feel amazing. You guys saw what happened with my neck. Like, thought I was gonna lose my head right there, but I'm feeling really good right now. And this is just a testament to when you actually care about your health and you start making it a priority. So I am feeling good. It makes sense why I feel good. And I wanna continue to feel good. So we're gonna go up there and see what Dr. Vince has in store for us. Let's go. All right, guys, before Dr. Vince gets here, I just want to talk a little bit about what things he's actually writing off. Like, we were just in his facility, you saw all of those tables, you saw the TVs, you saw the x-ray machine, you even saw the stem cell machine that he was doing on both of my knees. My knees feel amazing right now. What can he actually write off all in 1 year? Well, I want you guys to know a little bit more about the Tax Cuts Jobs Act of 2018. Most business owners who used to buy items that last longer than 1 year, such as the table I was on, such as the TVs and the x-ray machine, they would have to write off these items over the allotted period of time that the government has chosen for those particular items. Which means the government has to actually look at all the items that you could have in your business and give an actual lifetime that you get to write it off over the course of time. So if I'm normally buying equipment such as laptops, computers, desks, tables, these items normally are written off over the course of 5 or 7 years. It's considered depreciation and it's amortized over time. But if I'm a chiropractor, doctor, physician, and I'm spending a lot of money on items, I can leverage part of what was implemented in the Tax Cuts Jobs Act. What was implemented as a part of the Tax Cuts Jobs Act was bonus depreciation going from 50% to 100% and Code Section 179. Code Section 179 says if I have improvement property or personal property inside of my business with a useful life of 20 years or less, that I can write off these items all in 1 year. So Dr. Vince has tons of different items. He has the tables, the computers, the x-ray machine, the stem cell machine, all of the bands. If he wants to, he can choose to write off all of these components in 1 year, or he can choose to depreciate these items over the course of time. And if you're thinking right now, well, doesn't it make sense to write off everything in 1 year? Maybe, but maybe you're a taxpayer that's gonna have a higher income earning year in the following year. So it might make sense for you to write off certain components inside of your business over the course of time, as opposed to writing it off all in 1 year. That's a part of having a tax strategy. This water right here is feeding direct oxygen, straight oxygen, and it's blowing directly at me. Feels cold. That's why I can describe it. But it's fresh. All right, guys, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm already cold. I'm about to go in here. First time going into a cryo. I've heard many good things about it. I majored in kinesiology, so it's not like I've been flying around operating with no knowledge of what's healthy for my body or not. I'm about to get butt naked in a cryo chamber. Shout out Antonio Brown. I'm putting on my slippers today. I'm not gonna get any frostbite. So I'll see you guys in a bit.
Only 80 below zero.
80 below zero?
Only minus 80. That's it.
Only minus 80.
Only minus 80. 3 minutes, you got it.
Only minus 80.
Only minus 80.
I can slowly feel my body defrosting. Just to kind of say this,
because I'm an idiot. I went in there at first without my slippers on, right after Dr. Vince specifically told me to put my slippers on. Within the first 25 seconds, I feel my feet numbing, and I'm like, oh, I need to get back out of here. So I ran back out, put my slippers on, ran back in. As soon as I ran back in, I felt this like breeze climb up my booty, and I'm like, oh snap, I'm getting extremely cold extremely fast. The one thing that you feel that gets the most cold is your head. Like your head starts freezing. I literally pictured myself like going through my WIM method technique, and I was like, okay, let the body do what it's capable of doing, let it do what it's capable of doing. And that took me to a good state. I was able to get through it. I'm like still cold from the chamber, and now we're about to do red light therapy. So I gotta get completely naked again, and we're gonna have some red light hitting the body everywhere. So let's do this. Guys, I felt like my whole genome was restored. Oh my goodness. This was amazing. From the moment I woke up, not really waking up into pain or really feeling like there was anything going on with my body, to going to his facility, feeling like my whole body got renewed, coming into here, and then just getting all this therapy, feeling rejuvenated. I'm excited to get back home to like see how I feel and experience like my workouts and the actual change that I'll feel from all this stuff that I've done here today. But one thing is for certain, I don't want it to stop. The way I'm feeling right now, I want to feel good like this all the time. And so it's getting me to think in my head, when am I going to make this important enough to me to where this becomes something that I'm doing weekly, monthly, so it can become a part of my routine, and hopefully a part of your routine too. So I'm super excited for my experience with you today, doctor. This has been absolutely incredible. Thank you for bringing me to your playground. I definitely understand why people come here, and I understand why you're as successful as you are. To anybody that's looking to get any type of chiropractic help, just feel better, or even have some advice around how to start your own chiropractic facility, it's definitely the person to hit up. Dr. Vince, just want to say thank you for today.
Dude, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let this guy get out onto the golf course. Got to get him to come down to Orange County to play some golf with me.